gmail.com, and if you type enter, again, you can be able to create a new site. This is even, you can find here, you can find a totally new site, or there are some templates that you can use. These templates can be a good place to start if you don't have ideas. Like now, you can set up a site as a help center for a class, like I was saying, as a class teacher. You can set up yours for an event, like you have a fundraising in the school and you want to reach very many people. This is a good way to have an event, a portfolio. You can even have for a restaurant, right? That's out of school. But we can look at these ones that we can use within the school. Me, I want to go through my drive where I already have this new site. Once I have this new site, there are particularly two areas I would like you to take note of. One is this top bar here. In this top bar, you can see I'm already again logged in because I'm already in my drive. There's a button here that is inactivated. The three dots, whenever you see those ones, it means there is something you can do more. There is a gear here, and this and some icons that you're already used to, like the redo and undo buttons. Now, yes, sorry.
Would you like us to see what you're doing?
Oh, sorry. It's okay. You're not able to see this one.
Yeah, because you stopped sharing the screen.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I'll repeat that.
Okay, thank you.
Can you see my screen now? Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. So, as I was saying, to set up your Google sites, there are two ways you can set up your site. One is by going to your drive. The easiest way to go to drive is actually, if I open a new tab, you can see, let it open, you can see I'm already logged in to my Gmail account. Because here you can see my icon here, and meaning I'm already logged in. That's why I can even be able to read my emails. My emails are there because I'm logged in. There are various apps for Gmail that you can use. Drive is one of them. So if I go to these 9 dots here and I click on them, I can find my drive. If I just click on it, it will open this account for me. My drive is here. And then from drive, I can go to new. New, if I click on new, let it open. If I go to new and then I go to slides, there is Google Sheets, there is Google Docs, and there is more. The moment I drop to more, I can be able to see some drop-down menu opening, whereby I can see forms, drawings, maps, and then there is the Google Sites. That is one way I can open my site. So if I click on this, it will open a new blank document that I can now use to create my site. That's one way. The other way that I can create my site is actually going straight to the address bar. Like if I open a new tab, since I'm already logged in to my Gmail account, this is Chrome. I'm using the browser Chrome. So once I log in one tab, these tabs can read each other. So even if I open a new tab, I'm still logged in. I can type here sites.google geg.com. And once I hit enter, then again, the same way, I can have this tab, the plus sign, where I can have a blank site. It has some templates. These are templates that you can use, a help center. You can set up a class. Each one of them you open will come preloaded with some pages that you can just populate. If you want to create an event, a portfolio, these ones are what we can use maybe within, and there are even more templates if you want to open more. So you can select from there. But for us, I would like us to open a totally blank template going through the driveway. I decide you go to drive, then you go to new. From new, you go to drive, then new, then more. Once from more, then you go to sites, Google Sites. It will give you a blank document like this. This is what I want us to use. I said you need to take note of this bar here, where it's already saying I'm already logged in. It has some icon there that is already inactivated. The 3 dots, the gear, you've already seen this. These are some icons that I know you have seen. You can even see the plus people. Right now, I cannot add because I'm yet to create the document. But once I create the documents, these icons will be activated. Then, on the right bar here, this is actually your office. This will be your office. Everything you need to do, most of the times you'll be doing it from here. These are some layouts already you have been given. You need different layouts. You will have different content. These are ways you can add different content. These ones are in the insert tab here, because here you have 3 tabs. There is the insert, there is the pages. We are going to use each one of these tabs, and there is also the themes. So take note of this, because this bar will actually be your office. Then whatever you do here is actually going to be reflected here, because now this will form the page or the website, what will be facing your public or your intended audience. But as you create a site, it's always good to think about who are you creating this site for. Are you creating this site to go to your parents, to reach your parents or your students? Or are you creating it for your class so that the intended recipients are your students themselves? Or is it the general public? Those decisions will determine the content that you are going to create, and also the way you present it. Now, on this tab here, this will be your header. We are going to see how you can have a header, and then this will be your body. This part, the white part, will be your body. Now, because there is a new document, whenever you open a document, I told you that your site will be saved in your drive. And just like any other document, you need to give it a name. Like now you can see here untitled site, because we have not yet given it a name. You can check this, as I'm going to do, depending on what are you creating it. Let us create a site for my subject, history. Let me say history form 1, because it will be for a form 1. So form 1. And then once you can see, this is the site name. The document name, actually, if you go to my documents, we are going to see about my documents. You can see already the document is there, and it has been given the name history form 1. I can even rename it from here if I want to change this name. For instance, that one, I didn't want it like that. I wanted it like that, history form 1. And if I go back I move from my drive and I go back to my site, you can see it has already been renamed. That's why I say when you create it, it will be automatically be saved in your drive. This document name has already been replicated here. This is your site name. Site name is not a must to be the same as the document name, because the site name, when you open, like here, what you are reading here is the site name. So you can rename this to be more, this one will help you to find your document later on. That is the document name. But here you can now say, what am I creating? Let's say I'm creating for one of the topics in History Form 1. That would be the name that I put here. Maybe the topic is Aleman. So I put my name as Aleman to be my site name, so that when everybody is looking at this, we'll be seeing Aleman. And then at this point, actually, the moment I give my site a name, you can see the icons have been activated. Now you can even be able to preview your site, and most importantly, you can be able to share this site with other people, and they can assist you to populate the site. They can help you to add content. You can edit together with them, and so I'm going to do exactly that right now. I can just click on plus people, this plus sign, plus people. Let me see. Okay, I can see this. I would like to have Fred there. Gary, can I have your email? I add you as one of my collaborators. Bernadette, can I have your email address?
Benakiari, B-E-R-N-A,
B-E-R-N-A,
Kiari, at gmail.com.
At gmail.com. So I can also add, I can see I've already come, and I can set. The moment I click on set, they'll get a notification, an email saying that they can be able, I've added them as editors. So, and you can even see a notification here, people added, so that now it's possible for me, I do something and they can also be able to do something. We can work together to create our site. Then, when you open a new site, and like now you preview this, like this is how your site will appear to the public. As you can see, they will not be seeing anything there. They will just be seeing your page title, and that's it. That one is not so much helpful. So the moment, what we need to do is to give it a title. And because like this is the first page that when people come, they will be able to see, I can even rename this to maybe to be the first when you like given a welcome, I can even begin there. I can start by having a welcome page, welcome, because this will be my home page. And in this page, if I move my mouse to it, you can see I have some options come up here. Like what type of a header do I want? The header type and the image. You can add an image, a custom image that is going to reflect your site. And if you click on, for instance, image that you want, you have two options. You can upload or you can just select an image. You can select this from your gallery. You have all this from your gallery. What I said is, who are you creating the site for? Because that will guide you on what do I want to put up there. Even the images will be determined, or you can use the URL, or you can even search from inside. Like now, because I'm dealing with the Ariman, maybe I can even go and search for images that reflect the Ariman. I can just come here and type Ariman. I search Ariman. I search. And then you can see immediately I'll get these images that I can use. I can pick the one that I think reflects what I want. Like if that is what I want, I can select this, and there it is. I am able to change the background. Now it's bringing out the topic that I want. Even if the image is the way I want, that's okay, but I can change the header type. Like having, do I just want the title only, no image? Do I want a banner, a small image, a larger image, or even larger image? That one will depend on you and what you want. For me, I'll go with that. That seems quite okay. Then here I don't have content. Content is what now I need to add. This banner, this header here, you can customize for each and every page that you create. So you can have different headers for different pages. Then the most important is the content. What communication do you want to give? Then that is what you can now give here on this part. For us to put content here, we'll go back to our office and select maybe what first we need to think about the layout. What layout do we need? Like now, I can just go with one image and text. Like now, if I put this one, it will give me this first option here. It will give me an option to put up an image or one content. I can put up an image here, and then I can put up text here. This plus, it's not just an image you can put there. Actually, you can have different things, because all these, if you go back to your office and you look at these things that you can put, you can embed a button, you can have a placeholder, you can insert a YouTube video, you can insert a calendar, you can insert a map, you can put a document. If you have a document in your Google Drive, you can share it there. You can put up a slides if you have already created some slides, or even a form. So for me, I just need a photo of my students. So I can just click on the plus sign, and then I select image. Maybe I can go to my photos, the ones I already have in my drive. Maybe I select one of my students, Google Drive. Let me go to my drive. I go to where I have images. This, because I can scroll down, or even have a photo of my students. Okay, certificates. Let me see. I have some photos here I can use. Okay. All right. Okay, I don't have photos of students. Let's say I can put this as my colleagues. Then I put there. And you can see it has automatically cropped the photo. If this has happened, I can click on this to uncrop so that I can see the whole image. So I can start by saying teachers welcome. Let us say New Year, new term message, new term message. So I can say, I can put we, the history department, welcomes you back from home, and we will have an exciting time. So I can have that as my welcome message. If I can even, if I want to edit this photo, again, I can just come here and I crop. Maybe where do I want it to what do I want to appear? Maybe I can reduce to the place I want. Okay, that's it. And okay, that's the welcome message. When if I preview here, you can now see students will be presented with this welcome screen, and they can be able to get a welcome message from the department. I can stop previewing again. So as I've said, this icon here is to preview how your site will look like to the public, to the town. Then on this new tab here, I have pages. If I want to add another page, maybe I want to start creating the content now for the RMN. I can go to pages, and as you can see, I already have one page. That's the home page. When you open, you create a new site, you are given a home page. And this is the home page, what we have just done. We have populated some content in the home page. But I can create another page now by coming to the plus sign here. And when I have a plus sign, I have two options. Let me go back to that again. Plus, I have two options. One, I can have a page here, or I can have a link. If I click on this, I'll create a page. If I click on this, I'll create a link. Links, as we are going to see, there is something we call a menu. Like right now, you don't see it here because we only have one page. But if I create another page, then it will ask me to give the name of that new page. Maybe I can, in this new page, I can say about the RMN, about the RMN. And the moment I click on done, one, you can see a page, a new page has come up here. And at the same time, here, apart from home, now I have another tab that I can click on. Although this header has come, the way it was previously, we can be able to customize this header with a new image. Again, it is simple. You go so that you can see the differences in the pages. you go and you click on you just put your mouse over the header, and it will give you this option to change your image. You can again have the two options to upload or to select an image. And because now I can, because I don't have these images with me, I can just go online and search. And the good thing with this search is that the images it is going to give you have already been filtered, so that they are, as you can see here, the results, the images that you get have already been labeled for commercial use. So even if you use these images, you can be guaranteed that nobody is going to follow you up with copyright. So you can just come here and you search maybe RA sites. We need to start by looking at an RMAN site dwelling where they used to stay. A site, RMAN site, you search. As you can see, again, select the image that most likely is going to bring out what you want to have. Let us see, not that one. Let us select so that we don't spend a lot of time looking for an image. Let us look at this one. Let's just take this one. You select. Once you click on it, the tick comes, you select. So that the image is, so that you can see the differences. If I click on this, and if I click on this, now you can see the differences. This is the home page, and this is the new page that we have created. Again, you can customize the header type that you want. Maybe this one you need a small header. That the other one can have a large one. This one a small header, and you can see about the RMAN. And this is where now you can populate the information by maybe adding text, for instance. You move away from the Pages tab. You go back to Insert. Most of the things I told you, you'll be doing them from here. What do you want to insert at this juncture? You want information, people to read about the RMAN. So you can have again options to select the layout that you want. Do you want 4? Like now, if you click on those ones, it will give you an option of having 4 contents: 1, 2, 3, 4. Like images, like tabs, or do you want this one? This kind of a layout, whereby you have 2 images and a bigger one. The layout and the way you want to arrange it, you don't have to think about it so much. Just be creative. What you want and how you want it, you are going to find it here. Like now, I will go again with this one. Again, whereby I have this content and maybe text. And because I don't need this other tool, because everything you do is automatically saved, I can just go to that, what I have inserted, and then on the left-hand side menu, you'll see these 3 icons. One is to customize the background. Background is like now you can see it is all appearing white. But if I click on this one, and then I can select a different background so that people can see differences in these tabs. But what colors you have here, they are normally dictated by, again, from your office themes you select. The theme you have will dictate the colors and the options you'll be given here. So if you want a different theme, or let's say like you want different colors here, you have to go back to your office, not the Insert tab, not the Pages, but the themes. On the themes, you'll have different text layouts and different colors options. Although you can have your own, right now I would like us to go with what we have already been given. Like now, if I click on Aristotle, you can see the theme changes. And even if when I come here, the colors change, like the ones I have. If I go to diplomats, again, you can see the colors again will change what I have been given. If I go to impression, again, they will change, because here I can have these colors. I can have that, I can have that, I can have that. But although I can have mine using a hex is where you can put this color code here using a hex or just clicking on that one. But if you have a particular color, it's good to go online, find the hex for it, and then you type it here. Because right now, if you are creating a website for your school, I would suggest the colors you have to go to select a theme and colors that will reflect your school colors, so that when people visit it, they will feel like they are within the school environment. So like now, I'll go with this impression, and I'll go with the green color. The green color means I have now different options here, emphasis that I can use to select my background. Like I said, these first two contents, I don't need them, because I said I'm going to use this one. So what do I do with these two? You again, from the colors, you have where you can duplicate this if you like it and you want to reuse it, or you can just delete it. Even this one, because we are not going to use it, there is this icon, you can just delete it, so that we now remain with what we have here. And again, we can add the content that I want. I can go to maybe this, add, what do I want? I want maybe a YouTube video. So I click on this, and it will give me an option to select. I can again look for what I want, the video I want. Maybe I can talk about Areman, and then I search. I see the videos that it will give me. I just want a small introduction about the Areman. From the Areman, let's see, Areman sites, culture. We can even culture. Let's see what we get. Okay, I can just pick, let's say this is the video I want, a small introduction that I want my students to view. Not a long one, just a small one that they can view within my site. I don't have to set them outside, but they can view it within my site. So I can just pick on this one, and then I click on this, select, so that it comes straight away there. And then here I can give it a title. This, you start by giving it a title. Maybe I can have it I can even borrow from the video itself, Stone Tools. And then I give the instructions to my students. Watch the following video about some tools used by the Areman, and that is enough. I'm giving them introduction. What can they expect? One, they can see a video. What else do I want? Maybe I have documents. I would like them again to see. Again, including to the introduction, because this is about the Areman. If this one is not very highly visible, the way you'd like it to see the tabs, you can just go to highlight it again, and you can see if I highlight it, there is a gear that appears at the left. You can click on that gear to open this tab here. On this tab, you can select where you want this bar to appear, either at the top or on the side of the screen here. Because if I change this from the top, I come to the side, it will come here. It opens from there. That's not what I want. So I go to the gear. I want it at the top, but because it is not visible, I can give it a different color. Right now, it has been given transparent. I have two colors I can choose from, either white. If I have white, you can see it has changed. Now it's a little bit visible, but again, my site is still too white. I can go back to it. I go to the gear because I don't want again to strain the eyes of the user. I select black like that. Now you can see it is a little bit more visible. And it is again, the site is not appearing to be too bright to the user. That's why I would suggest even this, instead of having it white, make use of this icon here and try and find, you can even upload an image if you want, but try and make this, change it so that it stops being too bright, so that it is more eye-friendly. Now, on this, I can even create another new tab and add content, but it is advisable you don't create too many pages. Try and have a few pages so that because again, too many are distracting and they make the website to look cluttered. But if you have very many pages you want to add, then there are workarounds. There are things you can do. You hide some pages so that they can only be accessed through some links. That is one way you can, but don't have too many pages. And again, if you create a page and you don't want it to appear here, because as we saw, the moment you create a page and you give it a name, like now, let us say this new page is I want a page about food about what Ariman type of food that Ariman used to eat. I can see, or let me just say culture of the Ariman. I want a tab on culture. Now, the moment I create a page here, a link comes up here on the tab, on the bar here. If you don't want the link to appear here, it's possible to remove it because if you click on this, the three dots here, if you click on these three dots, it will give you options to set this as the home page, to duplicate this page, then you can hide this page from the navigation so that people will not see it from here, but the page is still there. This is a good way, for instance, if you have some pages that you only want to share with specific people, so you can hide it and people will not be able to access it unless you give somebody a link to that one. So it's a good way to hide some pages. Sometimes you can even use tabs. Now, if I want to link to this one, now I can use tabs. We are going to see how, but right now I want this page to be visible. So I can say show in the navigation. And in culture, we have different elements, for instance. I want to talk about food. Food is part of human beings' culture, the food they ate. So I want that I create a page where I'm going to put up content about food. I create down, food comes up here. But I don't want food to come here because food is part of culture. If food is part of culture, so I want this food to be a sub-page of culture, to appear under culture, not on its own. There are two ways I can do that. One is to make sure from here, when I am on the page of culture, I come again to the three dots and say add a subpage. If I say add a subpage, then the page I create, let us say I create something about clothing. The page I create will be a subpage of clothing. As you can see, culture now has a drop-down menu. So you can go to culture and then clothing. Clothing will be on a page of its own, but it is part of culture. That is one way. The other way is, like now, food. I've already created this page, but I realized that food is part of culture. I can just click on food. I want to drag it, and I drag it on top of culture. Once I drag it on top of culture, it makes it automatically a subpage, so that now food is no longer on its own, but it is part of culture. So I can, these are new pages. I can create on them and I can populate them with information. But that is one way how you can go on creating information and populating the information. Let's say, because there is a school website and it would be for a class, maybe you'd like your parents also to use this, maybe for as a map. You want to add a map for your school. Where is your school located? Let's say in one of the pages, like the home page, you want to add a map. Here, if you go to home, you want to add a map at the bottom here. After this, you want maybe a map. Then you can create a new page, or not necessarily a new page, but new content by going to insert. Then on insert, again you can select what do you want, the layout that you want from here. If you don't want to select a layout from here, you can go to this white space and just double click. If you double click, it will give you this wheel where you can select what you want to insert. You can insert an image, you can upload something, you can add something from your drive, you can have a text, you can even embed, like a YouTube. You can embed either if you have a URL, or you have an embed code, like you can now use this one to embed what you want. So right now, what I want is something to do with a map. I can go to insert, then I select the content. The content you want is normally from here. Then you go to map. You can maybe select this, what you want to add, map. Then you just need to select your location. Once you select your location, let me say from Kiambu. Let's say it will give me my location, Kiambu. Yes. So there is Kiambu. I can try and find my location. And then if you find your location, then again you can select. And once you select, it will insert the map for you, so that people can be able to find if you want. And as you can see, it has the two options. One is the map, or you can even have the satellite map, depending on what have you selected. And if you don't need it anymore, if you highlight it, on this one, you can see this where you can delete content that you don't want, or if you want it in a different page, then you can create a page and then you upload. If you have documents you want to upload, then let us say from one of the pages here about the Ariman, maybe there is a document I want to upload. Then I can have a layout from here again, and then I add the content that I want, or I can again just double click, and then I say I want something from my drive. So I'll go here and from drive, and then it will open for me the drive, where I can select what do I want to to embed. And even if it is a document like this, if I select it, one document selected, and then I insert, then it will be embedded already in the drive. And again, you can use these dots to resize the contents just the way you normally resize, and my students or my parents can be able to see what I have in my drive. You can, if you want to see how does my site look like, again, remember the icon for preview. You just need to click on preview, and once again you are on preview, then you'll see how does my site look like to the outsiders. Like now you can see the document we have embedded, it is there. Students can have access to it and they can read. And but this one has no instructions. As you can see, you can stop sharing this by clicking there, preview, and then from here you can insert maybe instructions. Again, you can insert text box whereby you say from the assignment above, attempt. You can even ask them to attempt the assignment. Attempt the assignments above, and bring it back, bring it with you, plus when you report. When you report. So now the students can be able to see this assignment, and they can be able to do. If you see, if you would not like it, layout is not good, it's good to make use of this, whereby you have this, then you upload the document here, and you can put the instructions here. That's the good thing with having this kind of an alignment. Select the kind of layout that is going to work with the content that you have, so that like now from here, instead of having it disorganized like this, it can be neat. Content here, then instructions here, and the students can be able to preview even the document, a document that is already within your drive. You need to upload the document from here to your drive, because even this site will be saved in your drive. As I said, if you go to your drive, your site will be saved there. Everything you are working on within your drive. That's why when you are giving it, when you are sharing it here, you are giving other people permission to edit it with you. You can select the permission you want. Now, once you create a site and you are happy with the sites that you have already created, the next important thing is to publish your site, because right now other people in the world cannot see it. So you need to publish your site. How do you do that? You go back to again the bar here that we were talking about, where I have my photo saying I'm logged in. Now you can see the publish button is no longer inactivated. Now it is activated. Now that it is activated, the only thing that is inactivated is the link. I cannot get a link to give to people because I have already not published my site. But the moment I do that, I can be able to get a link to my site that I can share with parents, that people can use to log in and now be able to view my content. And as I said, again, when you are publishing a site, you have to think about who are you creating it for. If you are creating it for your students and you don't want it to be accessible to anybody else out there, then the way you publish it is where you are going to set up those permissions, so that your students can be able to view it, but other people cannot be able to view it. That's how you can keep your students safe. The other way is you can share it in a way, you can publish it in a way so that anybody with a link can be able to view it. Like now, I was trying to imagine you are creating a portal for your parents where they can get information about their students, maybe as a class teacher. You want, you'll be posting sensitive information there, maybe like the school routine, so that parents can be able to see the routine, the timetable, school timetable. You want to embed it there so that they can see. You'll be posting occasional images so that parents can see what is happening, so just to keep the parent informed. Aside like this one, you might want it accessible only to the parents of your students, and so you add them so that only they can be able to access the site. Even if they give somebody else the link, they will not be able to access it unless they use their particular email account, which I think then it is like they want that other person also to see. So you can publish your site. Let's click on the publish your site. And then when we want to publish our site, we can have this, the site name has been provided to us here as our web address. That one can remain, or you might want to have it different. But right now, I think that one is good enough. We can have the Araman as our link address. Then what we need is to manage my site. This is what we need. So that who can view my site? That is a question that you need answered and before you publish. So once you decide who you want to view your site, you can now say manage. Okay, my co-editors, those ones automatically will be able to view it because they are colleagues. Then I can add people. If I add people, then only those people that, and then the way I'm going to change this. If I change this and then I want only my parents, then I need their email addresses and I add them here. So I can come here and change the type of link I want. And then I can say restricted. That means only people added can view with this link. That means the parents I add with their email addresses, only they can be able to see with the link that I will give out. Or do I want it public so that anybody with a link can be able to view my site? That's an important question. Like now in ours, because it is for my students, actually I only want my students to view. So I'll go to restricted, but for now, because we are training, I'll go with public. So I leave this one as public and not restricted, but public. And then I say done. That way I don't have to add other people to be able to view my site. Anybody here, once I publish my site, you can be able to click on that site and you can be able to view my site. Anybody in the training. So this is the address. You also have an option. Do you want to request the public search engines to display your site, not display your site? So that even if somebody goes to Google search, they will not be able to view it. If that's what you want, you can click on this one. If you want the search engines like Google to be able to find your site, then you just leave it open. But now that we have set the necessary permissions, we need to click on publish, and it will publish. And now the link that was inactive is no longer inactive. Now it is activated. That means I can be able to click on it and get a link for my site that I can now give out. As you can see, it is already HTTPS sites.google.com/view/Ariman about the Ariman. If I copy this link, this is the link I can share with my students, with my parents, and that means now they can be able to view the content that we have already created. And that's how you can bring so many things, documents. I can copy this one. You can bring documents, you can bring a calendar, so that people can be able to find within your site a calendar, school calendar, when school's closing, when is the half term, and everything you update, even this document like we have here. If, for instance, I go back to the original document in my drive and I edit any of those, I edit that document, like this one, I edit it, then the changes will be updated in my site. But very important to remember is that once your site is published and you want it to appear to any changes that you want them to appear, you will always keep on clicking on publish. After any amendments you make and you are happy with them, don't leave the site without clicking on publish. That way, the changes you have made will now become live. But as I was saying again, if you change on the documents here, then if you can open the document and you make changes, the changes will appear immediately on the Google sites, so that you don't have to change the document then change the Google site again. No, you only do things once and it updates. Even a calendar, like the term dates, you change the dates, it will automatically be reflected on the changes here. Like now you can have, we can add a calendar, just to let you see, so that we can add with the calendar. But anything that is here, it's possible for you to add, even a registration form. Like now, maybe you have an event and you want people to register for the event. You can embed a Google form here to collect, so that people can register themselves for that event using Google Forms. So you can even embed a Google form. That's why I was saying the site is like what brings it all together. Anything that is being offered by Google is now like brought together here. And once you know how to use documents, once you know how to use YouTube, where you can have a playlist. Playlist is you have the videos you want your students for a particular topic. You create a particular playlist. You can share it here so that your students can be able to view those videos. You can make a quiz, again using Google Forms. You embed the quiz here on the Google site so that your students can log in, do the quiz and submit. And if you want the quiz to mark itself, it can mark itself. So for the calendar, again, how you want it to appear is important, but you have to create the calendar first. And by creating again the calendar, you need again to go to a new tab. Then from here, apps, you go to the calendar. If you click on the calendar, it will give you these options. Right now, this is my calendar, and these are my other calendars. So from these other calendars, if I want, like now, a school calendar, I can just create one because I don't have one. So I can add other calendars, and then I go create a new calendar. So if I create a new calendar, I need to give it a title. What is the title of this calendar? Maybe I can say school calendar. School calendar. Or term dates. You can just give it as term dates. And even the description can be the same, because it is actually, it will be giving parents and students term dates, so that they are not in the dark. When are we going for half term? When are we crossing school? That kind of information that parents really need to get, and get it on time and when they need it, without necessarily having to contact you as the teacher. So time zone is again important. So select the time zone. Like now, this one is okay for me, the East African time zone in Nairobi. And so I can now create a calendar by clicking on this button here. And once I have a calendar, let it create. Okay. All right. Let me see that I have the calendars. My calendars, term dates. It is here. You can see the calendar has come, term dates. So on this term dates, if I click on it, let us say this is the calendar I want to view. Let me close these others. And these are the calendar. This is my calendar. It's blank because I don't have anything created. But if I want to start populating it, I can populate it. The normal way I have for a calendar, creating tasks, I can just click on it. I give it a title, assignments. I want the assignments maybe added in on that day. Assignments, maybe that will be the event. The date is that time. I can give it to the time. Then I just save it. Then closing school, I can just click on that. This one will give me the day, so I can select the actual time that I want. Maybe 1 p.m. I say closing school. Closing school. And then I save, so that I have the events. I can change to maybe month, so that I see. You can see I have an event there, closing school. I have assignments. If I want now to share this with the parents in my class, then I will now go back to my site, the RMAN. I can even create a new page the same way by going to pages, and then I click on a new tab to create a new, and then I give it the same thing, term dates, because I want the parents to see this quickly, so that it comes here and the parent can see the term dates. And then this one, maybe I don't want the header, so I come to the header type. I say title only, so the term dates will be there. And then I can come and select what I want, the content I want, by maybe saying I just want the calendar. Yeah, the calendar. And it will give me the option. I can either embed my calendar or the term dates. This is what I want. So I click on it and I insert. And the moment I do this, the calendar I have created becomes available in my site. Let it load. You can see from here, I've not selected the general view. What do I want? What is the view that I want for my calendar? So I can select the calendar settings from here. I don't know whether you know where I've gone. I have clicked on this one. The gearbox comes up. I click on it. Then what do I want to see? Especially the view mode. I want to change this to maybe month, so they can see it the way they normally see the normal calendar. And so the calendar is there for the parents, but now they cannot be able to see it until I click on the button publish because there is a change I have made after I had already published my site. So if I click on publish, it will give me the two versions, the drafts, because everything I'm doing, it was being saved, and the currently published calendar. It is telling me this page is not published. If I'm happy with the changes, then I just click on publish, and it will start publishing. And automatically, now that calendar is live. Anybody with the link can be able to view my calendar. If my colleagues want to edit anything on the calendar, because I was talking about collaboration, they can be able to collaborate. I don't know whether my two colleagues have anything they would like to add on our site, so that we can see how it, what happens to it. We can preview. You can see now how the calendar looks like. If you find it is too white, it will strain on the parents' eyes. You can just come back here and remember what we said. Go to highlight it. Go to the left here. Go to the palette where you have the background. Select a background that you want. Something that will make, and you can even preview again, so that it doesn't strain on the eyes too much, because you don't want a site that is going to make people strain. And so, and with that, then again, you have to remember, because we have made a change with the background, if you want this to appear, we have again to click on publish. Any changes you make, and you want the changes to appear online, you must keep on doing this, unless you are creating it for the first time and you have not published it. But once you publish, you have to keep on clicking on publish, publish, publish after every change that you make. And as I said, the calendar is saved in your documents. So if you go to Drive, your calendar is there. If you want to make sure that this is your calendar, the history from one, just try renaming this file. You can rename this file to history from one Ariman. That topic, Ariman. If you say okay, and you go back to this, you can see the file name. We say this is the file name. The file name has changed because we have changed the name in our Google Drive. So don't delete that calendar in your Google Drive. You find, if you start wondering what is this that has come up in my Google Drive, remember that all documents that you create on Google Drive, they are automatically saved there in the drive. It's this site you have created that has been saved there. And so, for my colleagues, I think it's now time. If they have something they would like to add, they can now add. I'll mute myself. If they want me to continue, they will tell me. So I'll stop sharing my screen, or they can continue as even because they can be able to edit. Yes.
Because thank you so much for your presentation, and maybe I could like to add some few things. I don't know if you stop presenting, so I can try and present.
Okay.
Yeah. So, like I shall present my whole screen.
Okay.
And starting with your work now, what you did.
Yes.
Yes. This is your website you have created, and you added me as a collaborator.
Yes, yes.
So I think yeah, this is what is there. So what I've done, I've gone to my Google sites to try and locate it so that I can do editing, because you accepted me as a collaborator, and you can check it here. So if, for example, I want to start it and try to roll it so that I can make any changes I feel like I can make, and that is it. So you can see from here you have added more. Okay, you have about 4 pages: the home, the our man, the culture, and whatever the sub pages, clothing, and term. So, for example, me and my case, if I at home, maybe I could like to add something like a Google form for a visitor to the page, the web page, and maybe they want to see what to be done. For example, they have a message for the website, they want to do something. So I will maybe try on the first page here and try to add a page. In this case, I mean start. Let's see. Let me see if I can have a layout here, and then see if I can add a Google form.
Okay.
You won't mind that I'm working on top of your work. So just a simulation.
Okay.
So I have a blank quiz here, and maybe let me use this one. It was shared to me, and insert it because of time. So this is I'm assuming that is a form which you have created to have visitors coming to a page, and I'm sorry to have used this one which is already because of time. So it's possible you can add to the way you said. You can add a calendar, you can add a map, you can add anything. You can add even your YouTube stream, for example. I'm just showing a video I want a student to check out. Maybe I'll search about COVID-19, see if I can have a video like that one. But this is what is happening currently in our life. So can have check this one, and you can see if you can have that video there. So there's no limitation on what you can do on a Google site. You can do anything. Look at the front here. So there's no limit on what you can do. You can add slide forms and other stuff. So that is it. So let me just try and give an example of the Google GEG Kenya site, what we made. And this is the link here. This is the website for GEG Kenya. And one of the rules you have to check on a website is to make sure that, for example, if I've clicked home here, because you can see from my home page, look at it, and then I'll tell you something. Okay, this is the contacts. This is the form I was talking about. So you can have the name, the answer, the email address, and then if somebody has a comment, you want to answer something on the website, you can add there. Then if you want to know who we are, this is the case. You can talk about your website, then talks about GEG Kenya, the history, how it started, maybe what are the tenets, what we do, and that is it. And then, of course, if you want a registration, that's another thing. Someone want to be registered. So I can have this form here again. See here, you can edit your response. For example, if I click here, check out. This is what we did the last time for readership. And you can see it's giving option to search what I can, if I want to do the stuff. So it's just from here. I can add my email, everything. I just share what I am, blah, blah, and then I did finish. And then you can come to resources. So these the resources you can see we have for level 1. If you look at this, there's a webinar here. If you look at this page here, these are the lessons for level 1, level 0. Google certification level 0. So you can take this one, they can level 0. You can take all the activities. For example, you want to take this one on, it can take you to my drive, and then you can check what you want to do. For example, you want to check the curriculum, how it appears. So see, there's no limitations on what you can do. So it has taken into the GEG curriculum here. So it's on the board here. If you visit that page, you can check everything is here. The sample, the exercise, I can just come back again and check on what, like for example, how to run computers, and then I check this one. There's a quiz here for see this lesson here, see what's happening here, and that is it. So there's a lesson 1 here. So you can see I'm in a Google Doc. It's possible for me to take that one, so I can take my exam if I want. And if I go back again, you can check the teacher center. This is for the all people who want to do the certification. So if you click on this link here, it just take you straight to the Google certification for training center. So this is our training center for all those who are involved in Google. And then the teacher center, you can have a look at what they have here, the lessons and other stuff, right? And then this is the Google digital skills. I think most of you are aware of that. So these are the skills which are here. And then we have also training. You can train if you have the year. And then let's go to more, because we have computer science for high school. If you're interested in computer science, you can click. There's some links here. There is Google CS Fast. You want for the kids. So it's full of sources. You can go straight and tap in and start teaching kids. And then on top of that, we have okay, there is the idea we wanted to have a summit. We want to have a Google summit in future for all over Kenya, even Africa. This is the idea we had. So we wanted to have a Google summit in Kenya. This is a 2-day. You can maybe in future, if COVID-19 ends, and have a Google summit even for Africa. So Google has summits for Africa for people who can come and train 2 days. You stay there in a school, for example, you do the certifications, and that is the example. And then a very important thing is also contact. You have an option to contact us. And how many ways can you contact us? You can create an image for GEG Kenya. There is an image, there is this for Twitter, for YouTube, for Facebook, for our blog here, for even Instagram, and the other call here. For example, if I tap this one, you can see what it's directing us to. So somebody who's coming to the page for the first time and want to check our social media, sign, for example. So you see, just taken us direct to our GEG Kenya address. So from here, you can also follow us. You have not followed us, in a sample of what we have there. We have also our YouTube stream. If you want to check our YouTube stream, for example, see what we have done and the videos. So you can see the videos we have done from various, there are streams there. So it's possible to add your YouTube stream. So you can see all of them, the contacts we are getting from the GEG Kenya. If you have not created a Facebook page, we also have a blog. So you can also head straight to our blog and see what's there. You can see the latest on Google blog and see, for example, I click this one, we see it is the latest. You can see our trending. So this is the most popular posts. You have introduction to Google Classroom, followed by environmental. Then there's Google CS Fast. That's from our blog. So it's possible from just Google site, you can contain all that. And when you're done with that, and of course partners, if you have partners, let's see which kind of partners we have. The other time we want to partner with Moringa School. So we can have Modcom College, some of the partners we can have. Right now we have working with the American Space. So we can add American Space here, for example, and then even you want to go to Moringa School, for example. If someone wants to know what's Moringa School, it's possible to check out what Moringa offers in terms of being a developer. You can see something like Django, Python developers, and that is one example of our partners. And then let's go to the first one, the home. I wanted to see the profile picture. I think this one is very paramount. So maybe some members are here, and this is the group. So who are fortunate to attend a 2-day event at Google headquarters in Kenya. So maybe they can smile if they're here, and they can see themselves here. So this is our visit to Google headquarters in Kenya. So there is no limit. There's no limit on what you cannot do on Google site. And that is it. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you, Fred. If there's anybody with a question, this is a good time to ask so that we can address them.
I have a question.
Yes.
If you have developed a site,
yes.
Where is it hosted? Do you pay some amount for it to be hosted, or how can it be hosted?
Okay, for a Google site. Like the
Yes.
site you have just created.
Yes.
Oh, it's absolutely free. If you remember what I said about the documents, it is saved in your drive, because drive is once you have Gmail, that anybody with Gmail has a drive. They are normally given a space where they can store their files. So it's actually in the Google servers where you store your files, like where you have your emails, because right now they are not in your computer, they are in your space for drive. So it will be stored together with your other documents in drive. And that's why all you need to do is, once you create a link and you get that link, if you published the link properly, like now you want it to be public, and you give people that link, they will be able to find you. And if you allowed such agents like to find your site, then somebody searching for that information can also find your site. But it is absolutely free. Okay. Have I answered your question?
Yes, you have answered my question. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Do you have another one?
Wow, I have a comment.
Yes.
My work as a moderator has been so easy because everything has gone so well. Congratulations, Mr.
Thank
Njogu.
you. Thank you.
That
so
is
much.
a job well done.
Thank you.
And there is a lot of what people are saying on the chat. Yeah, I think more or less everybody here in the meet has
Yes.
actually left a comment saying
Okay.
they have learned a lot. And like you said, Google Sites is like where everything comes together, all the Google products. So really, if you have taught us how to prepare sites, if we can prepare sites, then actually, in my opinion, we are ready for the level 1 certification. So I'm still encouraging everyone here to take that call and do that certification. It's very fulfilling, and probably in future it will help you. So let's not sit on this potential that we have, because really it's a lot. Thank you very much. Maybe you can show us your faces, people, so that we can also have that record, if you don't mind. If you can, to put on your camera and say hi. Yeah, it's good to see each other, especially in these times of quarantine, yeah?
True.
Yes. Clarice, I can see your mic is on. You want to say something?
I just want to say thank you very much for it was awesome. And I believe I'm going to put it into practice. I'm going to make one, at least a site. And then I will be in a position maybe to contact the presenters to help me if I'll start somewhere. I also want the opportunity to welcome you all Friday, as we will be doing a presentation with Fred about Be Internet Awesome and digital citizen. When you see you build confidence in us during our presentation. Please, same time, same place on Friday. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Clarice. Okay,
Hi,
so
everyone.
anybody with... Yes, hi, Francis.
Hi, how are you, everyone?
Very well.
Hi.
My name is Francis. This is the very first time I've joined these meetings. I can see Rose over there and Fred, very good friends of mine. I asked them about adding me into this group, and I never knew it is this exciting, where I have learned something about creating sites. However, my internet is a little bit rickety and spasmodic, so I may not be able to be very clear. But I think next time I'll prepare myself and be online. Asanteni sana.
You're most welcome, Francis. Good
Excellent.
to see you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Always join us Wednesdays and Fridays. Now it has become a tradition, more or less, in these COVID times.
Oh, really?
And yeah. So every Wednesday, every Friday, unless something happens and we have to cancel.
Just a quick question. I was not able to view this thing very well on my mobile. Is it that?
Okay.
Google sites are not optimized or.
Maybe you didn't install the apps beforehand. So Francis, most likely, yes, Fred?
Let me answer on that question. The Google sites are optimized for both tablet, laptop, but when you want to do any editing, you should do editing using a desktop or a laptop. On mobile, of course, you can have a glance, but cannot do more editing. But it means you should have. I think you can download an hub from Play Store. So maybe you have the internet connectivity, which is a problem, but I think they're okay. You can access them both in your devices, both laptop, smartphone, but in editing purposes,
thank you very much.
You cannot edit using a smartphone. You have to go back to your desktop or maybe your laptop to edit. Thank you.
Okay, maybe Mr. Njogu, being the presenter of the day, can also answer that question.
Point taken.
Actually, it has been answered. That's what I wanted, because if you go to the sites here and you want to, let me share this again. Just for a quick one. Okay, let me have this. This is what we had. You can see it. This is what we had. When we say we come here and preview, you can see that your sites, you have three options here, or how it will look like on laptop. That's the first icon here. How it will look like on a tablet, it's here. And you can even see how it will look like on a mobile phone. So for the site, it's only editing that you need the laptop. But for when your site has been published, then the viewer will actually be able to view it using whatever device that they have. Okay.
Hello, just an input. Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Somewhere.
Yes, Mr. Woro. Oh, an input. Mr. Francis was asking about the clarity.
Yes.
Quality of the video.
Yeah.
Understand that is what he was asking. And at the bottom right of the computer or the phone, there are three dots on your extreme right. So the moment you click the three dots, you have the settings, you have change layout, exit, turn on captions, and then the settings. And as the settings, you have an option of audio, video, and general. So at the video, that's where you can change the resolution. And you have the two options, the high definition resolution and standard definition. So you can select the 720 pixels for clarity. And through that, even when you are presenting, you can make those changes so that your presentation may be clear. I think that's what he was trying to ask. He had asked something of the kind about the clarity of the presentation and the video.
Okay.
Thank you very much for that additional issue, and it's really clear now.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. Rosemary, I can see your microphone is on. Would you like to say something?
Mine is to thank you for moderating. You have done a really good job. And I want to thank Michael for doing a good presentation. I think we're going to take up the challenge of developing our site. That should be our assignment, and we should share it in our site so that we see how would we have implemented what we have been taught. Otherwise, I want to thank you so much for the insights that you have given us, and even for the encouragement to do level 1 examinations. I don't know if our leader has gotten the vouchers that we had requested for. He can react on that too. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody. And Rosie, about your question, I think I shared a link on an email on the GEG Kenya, and then you're supposed to sign up for the Google form. And when you attend the workshop, they will send you a voucher. So you have to follow. I think you should have to wait. Maybe at the end of June, they should have shared. So if you fill the form, then you are a candidate for getting a voucher for the exam. I think I shared on there, and I think the same Rosie said that you signed up for the form. And I'm happy about that. So whoever signed up, you didn't get, I will share a Google form on the same. So you make sure that you sign up before the end of June. They should have a folder. And let me share the last thing I forgot on the website, and which is very important for us. This one has to do with your theme, how you present your website. So if you look at, for example, home here, look at the first page here. There is a link here, GEG Kenya. This one here, there's a photo image for GEG Kenya. This is home.
Fred, do you want to share your screen?
I've shared. Have you seen? I think I've shared.
No, you haven't.
Sorry for that. Yes. Is it okay now?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. So the idea was that so this I was saying, if you look at my page here, home, there's important thing to do with what you call the theme, how you want to lay out the page of your site to look. For example, you look at the image here, GEG Kenya, and the car at the background, and at the top here. So look at home, and for example, when you click at the page here, go home, who you are, look at the same image is being retained, and the background is the same. So these are one tenets of creating a website. Look at the registration, for example, you can see here, same things happening. Look at the background, look at the registration, look at the resources. So the idea is same idea. If you look all near even the teacher center, so each page has the same. So when you're creating a web page, that's a very important thing. So you don't have to mix up. So your web page should be like having the same themes. Like for example, even if I go to Google Digital Skills here for Africa, look at the same theme is repeating. So the most important thing is that when you're creating a website, the page should have the same color, can have the same image. Look at the way I'm doing, so that if each page you go, then that's a good tenet of creating a website. So don't mix up colors, don't mix up another images. For example, I could be having some other images around here. So this is one of the important things you should think of. So you should have in mind, you can even have a piece of paper, just sketch the way you do even in Access when you're creating tables. Just figure out how you want your website to look at, and then be creative on that, be innovative, put on a piece of paper, and then when you're ready, you can just come up. But don't forget this, the theme should be the same, images everywhere. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much, Fred, for that. Consistency, yeah? And predictability is usually important in many things, including your character, yeah? Okay, yeah, so let's keep in mind the whole idea of online etiquette, like we learned the other day, how to present yourself when you're in these meetings, so that we are professional, and when we put up the recordings, there are no ridiculous moments. I can see, Mr. Kitui, your microphone is on. Would you like to say something?
I wanted to ask a question, but Mr. Sago has answered it. And I'm so glad that the number of men is increasing on this site also. When we began here almost 3 men, now we are becoming more. And that's a good thing.
All right, very well. May they also be predictable so that they are always here. Okay. Very well. Okay, so is there someone who has an issue? We have 10 minutes to 5. So the floor is open. Anything you want to invite us to, for example?
Yes, I have something.
Okay, Mr. Wangombe.
There's a request. Mr. Michael has done a very good presentation.
Yes.
And you have unlocked me where I was stuck 3 months ago.
Okay.
I was trying to create a Google site, and I would encourage the group members or the participants rather, that whenever we have such kind of learning, we need to practice, collaborate, and then we come up with something so that we may be able to internalize some of these things. Unless we practice, we keep on practicing, we might be forgetful. You know, human beings are forgetful. And we don't want to pamper things to human beings that they don't want to put in practice. So for it to have an impact, even after COVID-19, we need to practice what you have already presented to us. And that's very encouraging. That is where we are now. We are trying to look for solutions to problems that we have always been experiencing, and they can be solved through Google. So, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much for that contribution. And I would invite you to start the site and put all the emails, you have them, and so that we collaborate and come up with a good site, having all the ideas that we have learned today. Will you take up the challenge, Samuel? You're muted. You're muted.
Okay,
Yeah?
I'll take up the challenge.
Excellent.
And I'm sure we are going to succeed because we have all champions here.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
I will invite Mr. Fred for final remarks so that we close.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm so amazed that today it has been flawless. I've been like fighting the hard power problems, but I'm so happy of the participants, what we have done, and so far how the community GEG Kenya is growing, how we're being deeply involved. And I'm hoping that we shall also, all the participants who are coming here, like I can say Rinda here coming in, some sorting maybe next time, we should have Rinda having something for us. We can prepare. GEG Kenya is open for everyone. Nobody has a monopoly of ideas. As we say, as Benjamin Franklin said, when you give somebody something, he may forget. You teach somebody something, sometimes he may remember. But when you get involved, you run something. And that's our motto for GEG Kenya. Everybody is in. We are all collaborators. The knowledge is not a monopoly of maybe for anyone. So as we need communication, creativity, all the 4 CCs. So you feel welcomed to spread the message when you get maybe on our social media sites, follow us, like us, and that is enough for us. So we prepare to help us and the community at all. So as Clarence said, we're having another meetup on Friday, and that's so gorgeous because it's all about, you see the power of social media, see what social media has done to the US, on the posted on the negative side. So we want to see how we can be good, positive citizens. So it's a very important thing. On Friday, the same time, you can do something on Google, the internet, awesome for kids and even for teachers and for community. So I'm so happy for everyone. And then maybe I'll propose this one to to Benedict. And if she can give us the last one, we're very grateful. Thank you so much for everyone.
Okay, thank you, Fred. Maybe just one more question for you, Fred. I saw you have put up that advert that says we have this meet and all that, yeah, in a number of groups. And it's just the advert that is there. Then you tell them to join it using their Gmail account, but the link, the meet link, is usually not there. What can we do about that?
I'm sorry. For the advert, I think for the advert itself as a meet, it has, but the problem is not creable. You cannot click it because it's in a poster. But if you check it, it's there downwards. If you look at the poster, the link is there. But the problem is, can somebody type it, for example? So that's why initially you have to do about 3 posts or 5. So there's another post 4 where you can click the link. The one which is now saying that GEG Kenya has invited you for a meeting, the link, and then the password, join with the GEG. So on the poster, usually it's there. If you can have a look at it when you are free, you can see there's a link, but the challenge is that you cannot click it and or maybe road.
Yeah,
So,
in fact, that is the main challenge. That
unless you copy, type on the, and most people are impatient. They cannot say that they go and check and what is there, the URL, and they go and type on a browser. If they want it, they can do it. But most people want to like, I tap and make your work easier. So if you're using a smartphone to work, we are encouraging, then it means you have to click on that link which I've shared. And for those who have been invited, for example, who are here, you don't need again any invitation. If I give you just a link, you are just in. You just tap in, and the other part, the moderator or the administrator will just maybe stop those who are coming or on the waiting room, or I'm not sure of. So it's one of the etiquettes. So you just tap and join in, then it means you are invited via Google Calendar, and that's what we did on the Google Meet. What Benedict told us on Google Meet. So I think that is it.
Okay, another input, Fred. To cut you short, Fred. Yes. Hello. Hello, Fred. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. I'm addressing to Fred. So for Friday's activity, I would request you to have a poster and then you shorten the message with the link so that we may be able also to share. Because the moment you give a literature before the post, the link, most of the people don't read. So for the purpose of the Wednesdays and Fridays meeting, let's have a short post and a short message with a link, just that, to enable us to spread across. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. People say, sharing. The reason why I have to do that, for example, if you don't do some a bit of literature in something like Google site, somebody going to know the Google site means what. And then what's happening is that the most members who are here, you get to invite direct. So if you see you use Google, somewhere when you use Google Calendar, you don't need again even to be invited, because I'm like inviting you two ways. I'm inviting via Google Classroom, so you get an announcement for Google Classroom, and then you go from Google Calendar. So Google Calendar gives you even a notification 10 minutes before even the meeting is there. So for yourself, for your case, you don't even need to have something like, you only need to a notification and to tap the link and it goes. And the other thing is that when you have shared, you have a guest, you can also add to other people. If you go on a Google Calendar, you can add more people you want. For example, you have your friend, you want your friend to attend the meetings. So sometimes if you only put a link, most people will not even tap. It's two-way. Some would do the literature, it's too high, and some, even if you put the link, also they will not tap the link, because they don't know the link, what does it mean for. So you have to do a bit of literature, but you see very few people who are committed. So for your case, and the members who are in this group, you cannot miss it, because it's in your Google Calendar, it's in your Google Classroom, and also in your website, or whatever, in your social media, WhatsApp, and even Telegram. So maybe I will try, but with the poster, the reason is that part of our partners, the American Space, they usually say that we make a poster and we give them, they give it to you, and they host in their website. That's the major reason why we do the poster. Otherwise, you could be doing some few wordy and then sort of few words, and then we do it. So it's two-way now traffic. Some maybe they will do the literature, some will do it. You share the link, some will say, oh, I don't have some of the links. So it's 50-50. But to the members who are dedicated here, they should come here. You are free to do that, and when you get a Google Calendar and you feel like you have a friend, you want him to get invited, just type in on the guest on the Google Calendar. Look for the email of your best friend or colleague, just add there. They will be invited for the meeting. That's the essence. You can add even 200, you can have even 200 members here.